I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. This brother don't miss. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel again. Happy New Year. Appreciate all the love and support with you guys coming over and watching. We are back on the Truth Is channel, which I'll leave this video in the description for you guys to check out more and even subscribe. Now, you guys know just what was that, days, weeks? I forget the exact date, but the Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua fight, uh, you know that happened. You know Jake Paul lost as most people thought he would or should, but you just never know if something is going to be fixed or not. Anthony Joshua beat him and knocked him out and messed his jaw up in two different places or whatever. But, you know, shortly after that, Anthony Johnson was involved in a car accident where two of his close friends, and I believe one of them, or they were trainers or something like that, were killed in the accident. Anthony Joshua survived. Now, I say that to say this. The title of this video says, there's something sinister about the Anthony Joshua situation. Now, normally in situations like this, it's like the person wouldn't be involved. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to, I'm very interested in seeing this video because normally it would be like Anthony Johnson, close friends, trainers were in a car accident, but he wasn't in the car. And like I said, that dude is like 6'6". He's a big dude. And I was like, he got lucky. He got really lucky because I thought his legs or something, because that car looked really bad. And they said that the guy was speeding. But as I said before on this channel, whenever there's a celebrity involved and there's like death, things get a little weird and crazy. Now, I ain't saying what's going to be said in this video is true, but let's just take a look because I know it's going to be something deep. Because I was just like, dang, he received one of his highest payouts ever. But I just want to see what he has to say. So we ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
On December 19th, Anthony Joshua faced off in the ring with YouTuber boxer Jake Paul. The fight ended in the 6th round with Anthony knocking out Jake Paul in front of millions of people. This fight was Anthony's biggest payday, with reports indicating that he earned over $93 million. While Anthony had just won his biggest bag in boxing in his entire career, the celebration didn't last very long. Exactly 10 days later, the unimaginable...
Like, look at that, man. Look at that. And like I said before, like, normally you wouldn't see Anthony Johnson. Joshua, did I say? Hopefully I wasn't saying Johnson in the beginning, but hopefully I didn't say that. But Anthony Joshua, normally you wouldn't see him. It would just be the friends when things get a little weird, dark, and strange. So I'm going to see where he's going with this.
What happened? Anthony ended up in a tragic car accident that claimed the lives of his coach and his trainer. Now, the timing of all of this has left many people wondering if there is something sinister behind this tragedy. Was this just a random accident, or did Joshua unknowingly or knowingly pay a dark price?
Ooh.
Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos exposing the truth weekly. In today's episode, we will be talking about the Anthony Joshua situation. But before you begin, I just wanted to let my Patreon members know I just released a new Patreon exclusive. This video is about Trump and some serious allegations that might change the way you look at him forever. If you're one of my members, make sure to check the video out ASAP. You can find the link in the description and in the comment section. I want to start to the families of those who died in the accident. Just days before they lost their father, friend, and brother. This is why it's important to always cherish and respect life, as you never truly know when's your last day. Now, I have been seeing a lot of people talk about this situation, with many people thinking this wasn't just a random accident, but something much deeper. All over social media, I have seen all types of posts, some that are extremely ridiculous, and others that at least raise some questions. Now, I myself looked into this situation, and I have to say, I did uncover some rather interesting details that do make you wonder if there was more to this. For those who don't know Anthony Joshua, he is a British-Nigerian former heavyweight boxing champion. Recently, he has been trending for two completely different reasons. One, he knocked out Jake Paul in a boxing match, and two, he ended up in a horrible car accident that claimed a lot.
And I think a lot of people didn't know that, the whole British-Nigerian, because they was like, what is he doing out there? But I'm trying to brace myself for what he's about to say, because you know how sometimes you're not even thinking about something, or you may not even have that thought, and then boom.
Of two of his close friends. Now, on the internet, some people have come to the conclusion that these two incidents were somehow connected. The results of the boxing match between Joshua and Paul in some way led to the car accident that claimed the lives of his friends. You may be wondering why people are saying that. Well, if you know how this world truly works, then you understand this is exactly how things happen. When situations like this happen more often than you would think, it's not just a random accident, but a price that needed to be paid. We are able to determine if this situation is one of those situations by searching for tells and signs. Usually when these rituals happen, they are played out in symbolism and numerology, all of which this boxing match seems to show. Let's take a closer look at the boxing match so you can see what I mean.
Damn.
The boxing match between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua took place on December 19th. It was a massive fight with reports of over 33 million viewers. Anthony won the fight when he knocked out Jake, breaking his jaw during the 6th round. After Anthony won the fight, it was reported that he was paid $93 million for the fight. Now, for those of you who have been watching me for years, you might have already picked up on some rather interesting details. Details that are clearly connected to occult numerology.
33.
First, there was a total of exactly 33 million viewers. Exactly 33. What a coincidence. We all know the importance of the number 33 in the world of the occult, especially its significance in Masonry. In the secret organization, the number 33 represents ascension, reaching enlightenment, and becoming gods on earth. It is the highest degree in the Scottish Rite sector of Masonry. To become a 33...
And now look, again, because, you know, some people, you know, you'll get called a conspiracy theorist or what. I'm just trying to look at this to inform myself. But what if it was 30 million? What if it was 31, 32, or even 34? What he's saying is that the reports are showing, you know, it was reported to be 33. Was that the actual number, or is that the number that they went with? That's where my mind went.
Degree Mason, you have to be invited after making it to the 32nd degree. You can't just join because you made it to the 32nd degree. You have to be chosen. When big public events are used for rituals, they tend to hide signs through symbolism and numerology that represents the ritual. This could be just that, as I believe they reported exactly 33 million viewers to indicate the ritual. Another interesting detail is how many rounds the fight lasted. It is being reported that Joshua knocked out Jake Paul during the 6th round, another number heavily used in numerology. See, the number 6 in the occult represents man's human imperfection and weakness. It also represents the number of the beast. While it might look like a coincidence the fight only lasted 6 rounds, most people already know these influencer boxing matches are all rigged and scripted. They chose this match to end in the 6th round because it was all a part of the ritual. Joshua beat Jake Paul in the 6th round while 33 million people were watching. In the occult representation of this ritual, Joshua transcends.
I was out of the house, but I was looking at it on my cell phone. And I will say this. In that 6th round, Anthony Joshua did, and if you watch the fight, you know exactly what I'm saying. He did like amp it up, because I'm watching the fight and I'm like, there's no way. How are they in the 6th round? You know, I feel like it could have been over way before that. But he was just like, it seemed like he was just chilling. Then in that 6th round, he started getting really aggressive, and then boom, just caught him out. Like, and not just hit him like, oh, you know, you about to get back up. Like, he finished him with that hit. Like, the power he put in that punch, it's like Anthony knew he wasn't going to get back up, and this was going to be it in the 6th round.
From man to God after beating Paul. Joshua was then paid exactly $93 million, which again is connected to the occult numerology. If you flip and invert 93, you get 63 or 36, which again goes back to the number of man becoming God. This fight was rich in symbolism. I also found some interesting symbolism from before the fight during the weigh-in. While Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua posed for the camera, I noticed Nakisa Baidari, Jake Paul's MVP associate, doing a Masonic hand gesture. This to me says a lot, as he's standing.
Boy, see, this is what I'm talking about. Stuff you may not have noticed before. There's a picture of Diddy doing that. Because the truth is, I've talked about this quite a few times on his channel. Because I said this before. Like with the whole covering that one eye and all this. If it don't mean nothing, then why are you doing it? Why can't he just be back there flexing or doing this? Why does he have to do that? Is my question. Why?
Between both men doing the symbol, almost showing that all of this was about to be a giant ritual. Especially since we know what ended up happening just a few days later after the fight. Now, when it comes to Jake Paul, we don't need to look too deep into him.
No.
He's openly involved in the order and has shown his alliance many times over. When it comes to Joshua, I also found ties to the Masonic order as well. Anthony has this photo standing over the checkerboard floor with a Greek god statue behind him. This photo was likely taken at a Masonic temple. The checkerboard floor is found at every Masonic lodge. I am confident this photo was taken inside of a lodge. Anthony actually has a direct connection to the Masons, believe it or not. He collaborated with a Masonic lodge that auctioned off his boxing shorts. This entire event was hosted by the Freemasons, indicating Joshua is likely a Freemason, as they only work with their own, which isn't at all far-fetched because many boxers are actually Freemasons. Many boxing legends were open Masons. People like Manny Pacquiao revealed his Masonic affiliation publicly. He has photos inside of a Masonic lodge that he posted online. So considering that Anthony Joshua is likely a Mason, it's not hard to believe he might be in the middle of an occult ritual, which leads us to the day of the crash. Joshua was involved in a serious car crash in Nigeria on Monday, December 29, 2025, that tragically resulted in the death of two of his close friends and team members, Sinagami and Latif. Joshua himself sustained minor injuries and was taken to a hospital for observation, where he was in stable condition and was eventually released. Investigations by the FRSC and local police indicated that the Lexus they were in was traveling at an excessive speed and lost control during an overtaking maneuver, crashing into a truck. The impact was mostly on the passenger side of the vehicle, where his coach and trainer were sitting. Just like that, 10 days after winning one of the biggest paydays, he ends up losing his close friends and members of his team. Now, what many people are saying is that the timing is quite strange. We all know accidents do happen, I'm not saying they don't.
Right.
But knowing the pro sports world and its connections to the occult and masonry, I can't lie, all of this looks like it could be connected. Anthony could have unknowingly or even knowingly participated in some sort of occult ritual. When I saw this happen, all I kept thinking about was the movie Him. I kept thinking about the trailer scene where Marlon asked the question, to be the GOAT, what are you willing to sacrifice?
Film is about the relationship between a student and his hero.
Yeah, it's just the only thing that just has me kind of questioning is like, because like I say, normally the person isn't involved in the accident, right? Because it's like you were speeding, you lost control. And I guess then the question is, I'm wondering, is he going to get to that? Like, were they, because I was shocked when you saw the car, and y'all heard what I said in that other video, but like, are they shocked that he's alive? Or was it something else supposed to happen? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because I'm just saying, you can't, I don't know, man. Because with car accidents, you just, Let me see what else he got.
Him means the GOAT.
The greatest of all time. Legends, man.
The one person who deserves respect among all, and this film begs the question,
To be a star, what are you willing to sacrifice? Isaiah is trying to teach Cam, you need to make these sacrifices to be the GOAT. It's for greatness. If you want to be the GOAT, you have to take it from...
Anthony just made $93 million in one fight, but the question is, did he sacrifice his close friends for it? While people might think Him was just a movie, I recently covered a story of a former professional soccer player who admitted he was approached by the secret societies, claiming that they wanted to initiate him into the secret order so that they could make him a big star.
Yeah.
But the downside was he was going to have to be willing to sacrifice a loved one.
Former professional soccer player Khalil Lambin, you have an absolutely wild story, including the offer to sell your soul for success. Tell us about it.
Till the day I reached the UK. And in the UK, I was offered by a journalist who in the beginning, I was not aware that he was part of this. So he basically said, let's have a interview about you. You've been in Thailand, you've been in Qatar, you've been all over the place as a young player. So the fans want to know more about you. So obviously I was naive and I said yes. And a couple of weeks later, I got some time. We went to a coffee place. And as I arrived, brother, he looked me straight in the eyes and he told me that I'm not a journalist. Like, if you are an agent, I already got a football agent. If you are from another team, I don't want to move from my actual team. I'm fine where I am. But then he said, no, we rule this world. We rule the sport industry. We rule the finance industry. We rule the music industry. And if you want to be part of the elite in your sport, you have to join the elite. So I was like, whew, bro, that was like tough because for me, my hard work will be what will help me to step up. But bro, all my dream came down. I was like, in front of him, he's looking in my eyes and he's telling me that. So obviously my first reaction was fear. But bear in mind, I was not Christian. I was not working with Christ and I was still Muslim and he's offering me this. If you ask me today what kept me is my beloved mother who always told me, don't you ever sell your soul. And while this man is speaking to me, I could hear the voice of my mom in my ears. Do not sell your soul. Do not sell your soul. But then I asked him this question, what do I have to do to be part of the elite? He said, there is nothing physical. I will give you an address. You come at such and such time and we will initiate you. I was like, whew. And as the voice of my mom was a seed in my heart, she kept, as he's speaking, I'm hearing, do not sell your soul. Do not sell your soul. I was like, I can't do that. And I could see his energy, his aura was getting like really, no, that's going to be possible. And I was like, no, I can't. And if you ask me today, I know that Jesus saved me from that. And as I'm reading the Bible says that what would a man give in exchange for his soul? And I was like,
Hey,
that's exactly what happened to me a couple of years ago. But now that I'm in a ministry supporting sports people into the world of football, I'm seeing footballers after one another coming to me and say, bro, actually your testimony touched me because I've joined them. Are you sure Jesus can save me? I say, what did you do for you to join? They asked me to offer my son. They asked me to go into some intimate relationship with my own mother. They've asked me to sacrifice such person in a car crash. You see, in the physical realm, it will be like a car crash, a cancer, something, but somebody has offered them because they have the same blood. And if you look back in the Old Testament, you can see child sacrifice. You see, so as I am seeing these footballers telling me, I say, God, you've actually saved me from something so dark.
Now, I hope that's not what Anthony did. I hope he didn't do something that evil, and as sad as it is, I hope this was just an accident. But when it comes to those in this industry, you have to expect things like this to happen. I pray for those families who lost a loved one because of this. I hope they find peace. I don't want to disrespect them at all. I just want to point out the patterns that I always notice in these situations. More often than not, we see these big level ups come accompanied by a tragic loss, just like we're seeing in this situation. I want to know what you guys think below. Do you think this is all connected or just a dark coincidence? Well, I'm gonna end this one here.
possibly, man. Possibly. That's why I said, like, you got to pay attention to all the signs and everything, man. Like, and it sucks because you don't want to be thinking this way about people. But at the same time, man, when you actually take a step back and you look and you go, they're actually a part of the industry. They are. And we know what people have to do to get in, to stay on top, all that. Like I said, you just gotta, I let me look at some of the comments here, man. Because when I think about, like I said, with car accidents, for me, it's like I would have thought he would have been one of the ones that died, you know? Someone said, when the news instantly scream and ain't right. Someone said, that's why I could never be an assistant, makeup, stylist, etc. for a celebrity. You'll end up being sacrificed. The boxing business is so dark. Yeah. People say, but we, man.
but it's like people selling that self. Like, you know, even the picture where everybody was in the room, that shit look like some devil shit. Facts though, some coke, like yeah, that shit like some devil shit. Like they sold that soul.
Yeah, you go with that.
That was crazy. And you seen how the guy was? He looked at the scorecard. Yeah, he looked at come on, man. You want to get Tank over here and fight? Man, I already know what y'all gonna do. Yeah. But every time I say something, it's like I'm hating. But it's like.
Going on.
Thank you so much.
Pay like $1 million.
Shout out TMZ, you up?
Let me check out that rig.
TMZ stands for the Mayweather Zone.
How'd you find me, bro? I got my disguise on.
I love my TMZ family.
Welcome to TMZ Sports. Lucas Widman here. Just 10 days removed from his massive boxing event with Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua was in a devastating and tragic car accident in Nigeria early on Monday. Now, the information is coming in gradually, but as we know right now, Joshua and two very close friends of his, members of his team, were traveling in a Lexus SUV around 11 a.m. in a very congested part of a town, Lagos. And apparently there are reports that the car was traveling at a high rate of speed and had a flat tire and actually collided with a stationary vehicle on the side of the road. Unfortunately, there were two deceased people involved in this car accident, and two of them were Joshua's close friends and trainers by the names of Latif and Sina. Now, more information as we are getting it. Matchroom Boxing actually released a statement on it just minutes ago saying Anthony Joshua was involved in a road traffic accident in Lagos, Nigeria earlier today. With profound sadness, it has been confirmed that two close friends and members, Sina and Lats, have tragically passed away. Matchroom Boxing and 258 BXG can confirm that Joshua sustained injuries in the accident and was taken to a hospital for checks and treatment. He is in a stable condition and will remain there for observation. Our deepest condolences and prayers are with the families and friends of all those affected, and we ask that their privacy is respected at this incredibly difficult time. No further comment will be made at this time. Now, condolences have been pouring in throughout the boxing community. These are two guys. Even Most Valuable Promotions co-founder Nikisa Badarian said, I was just with these guys last week. This is absolutely devastating. If you go to social media, Anthony Joshua's most recent story on Instagram is also a video of him playing table tennis with one of the deceased. This was completely unexpected. No one saw anything like this coming. They were actually going to Nigeria to celebrate the victory, spend some time for the holidays with Joshua's family and loved ones, and then something so tragic like this happens. Mojo, we were just talking about Anthony Joshua for the past few weeks. There's video of Joshua at the scene looking pretty banged up, but amazing to hear that Anthony Joshua is doing okay, and it sounds like he will be fine.
Yeah, man. I mean, talk about a 180. My goodness, what a horrible thing to happen. I mean, goodness, he was just in Miami. I was just watching him fight, beat Jake Paul, had the time of his life, 33 million people watching that fight. He made $92 million winning that fight and sustained pretty much no damage whatsoever. I mean, people can go back and forth as to, you know, how much of a real boxing fight this was. And, you know, Anthony Joshua fought way more competitive opponents in his day and had some, you know, real heavyweight fighters he's put away. And this was nothing even remotely close to that. But at the end of the day, again, $2 million and 33 million people watch this fight. So that is a victory worth celebrating in literally every step of the way. So how do you do it? You go to Nigeria. Anthony Joshua is of Nigerian descent. So being able to go home as the victor with that new money in his pocket to have been a really cool, potentially life-changing experience for him, his family, his teams. Everyone is flying high at the height of their careers, at the height of their professional success. And then this happens. And that's got to be one of the worst things to ever. I mean, losing people that are that close to you, literally right in front of you. You were in the car, you see the car there, and it just looks so horrifying. I mean, that is not an accident that is survivable, and it's got to be terrible. And then now you see him, how much pain he's in. You got to wonder too, what injuries were actually sustained. How many of these are going to be long-term injuries? You know, might he ever be the same from this? Did he suffer a bad concussion? You know, like maybe some of this is out there, but I'm sure we don't know all the extent of what really happened. Some of this he's probably not even. Sometime that's typically what happens with car crashes, is you feel things much later on. So, man, rest in peace to everyone that was lost in this crash. But what a terrible thing to happen after something that was just so awesome.
Absolutely, Mojo. And the thing is, reports right now are minor bruising and things like that, but forget boxing right now. Just happy to see that Anthony Joshua is alive and breathing right now. We'll figure out boxing down the road, but right now, speedy recovery to the former champion. Moving on to some NFL action. Well, it was a very special day for the New England Patriots. The AFC East is locked up. And Cardi B, she can have any seat in the house. She is an A-lister. She is dating one of the best players on the Patriots. Well, she decided to take a step back and watch the game from further away.
In today's video, we break down the latest and most shocking details surrounding the Anthony Joshua car crash and the intense reaction online. Why is Bryce Mitchell accusing Jake Paul of being behind the crash? We'll also look at why Nigeria came under heavy criticism, the backlash that followed, and the emotional reactions from fans. On top of that, we'll take a quick look at how UFC World celebrated the new year, and much more. So hit the like button, subscribe, and let's get started. New details are coming out about the recent car crash involving Anthony Joshua, in which two of his closest friends, Sina Gami and Latif Ayodele, tragically lost their lives. And the story is even more heartbreaking than first reported. New footage shows Joshua and the others arriving at an airport in Nigeria, where the same driver was waiting for them. The driver turned out to have no professional training and was hired by a local resident. The Lexus SUV used for transportation was armored and bulletproof. Investigators say the car was speeding, lost control while overtaking, and crashed into a truck parked on the roadside. The impact was so violent that Gami and Ayodele, who were seated in the front, died instantly. Anthony Joshua, who was sitting in the back seat, lost consciousness from the force of the impact and remained unconscious for about 10 minutes. The driver of the Lexus has reportedly been discharged from the hospital and may face charges for careless driving. Sources in Nigeria also say that the truck driver involved in the collision has been declared wanted after allegedly fleeing the scene immediately after the crash. Joshua himself remains in one of Nigeria's top hospitals, where he is being treated by leading doctors. Many people are calling it fate. If Joshua had been sitting in the front seat, he might not be alive today. Known for his controversial statements, Bryce Mitchell shocked fans once again by directly accusing Jake Paul of being involved in the incident. It is reported that the video in question was posted by Mitchell on his social media accounts, Instagram and X, on December 10th, 2025, roughly 9 days before the fight between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul. In the video, Mitchell speaks directly to Joshua, warning him about what he calls a script.
Hey, if you don't let Jake Paul win, he's going to kill you 9 days later. Or just kill your two best friends. But somebody's going to die if you don't let him win.
The fighter's statement caused a huge reaction on social media because they couldn't believe he would seriously say something that absurd. Is this real? People repeatedly asked under the video. Another fan replied, "How did Jake get all the way to Ogun State in Nigeria? There are bad roads and drivers who don't follow road safety laws. This has nothing to do with Jake." Another user said, "I was actually waiting for the conspiracy theories and now we have one. This is such an insensitive thing to do." One more fan wrote, "I'm not really a big fan of conspiracy theories, but this might be true. Look at what happened to everyone who fought Jake Paul. Nate Robinson, never heard from again. Ben Askren, lung failure, almost died. Tyron Woodley, bankruptcy. Tommy Fury, broke up with his hot wife, now runs marathons against middle-aged women. Ryan Borland stopped boxing and became a plumber. Chavez Jr. deported after the fight." Another fan added, "I can't tell if he's joking or not because of all the stupid takes he's had before." Even Paulo Costa added fuel to the fire by reposting this photo and saying that Jake Paul had gone too far. Fans were even more disturbed by how the media reacted. Twitter user Mukhtar pointed out that Daily Mail deleted a tweet about the crash, while the article itself remained online. The article claimed that Anthony Joshua's boxing future was in doubt after the fatal accident, raising fears that the 36-year-old may have suffered more serious injuries than first believed. The focus then quickly shifted to a potential 100 million pound mega fight with Tyson Fury and whether it could still happen amid possible psychological trauma. While many online believe the crash was caused by poor road conditions, a different view is now gaining attention. One eyewitness recently wrote online, "We were driving behind the convoy. They were driving recklessly. The truck was not parked on the road but off the roadside in a designated stopping area. We saw the vehicle veer to the right and at first thought they were pulling over, but we were also concerned about the speed. In a split second, we heard a loud crash. We still believe the driver may have fallen asleep or lost consciousness because there were no potholes or other obstructions on the road, and the tire did not burst or come off. Pastor Okeezy shared a video from the same location where Anthony Joshua's accident happened, stating that the road is actually in very good condition. According to him, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway is one of the smoothest roads in Nigeria, and the crash was more likely caused by a driver's miscalculation rather than the state of the road. This tragedy has sparked an emotional and deeply divided reaction online. While many expressed sympathy, others posted harsh and controversial comments about Nigeria, blaming the country rather than focusing on the loss of life. This triggered strong responses from Nigerians online, who said those comments were painful and unfair. The discussion quickly shifted from the accident itself to broader issues of stereotypes, misinformation, and how social media often amplifies insensitive narratives. Jordan Beck, an ex-user, wrote that their bodies were left out in the open in the middle of the highway. Cars kept passing and even drove through their blood, especially Latif's headless body.
Nigeria will never see me. I'm sure it's a beautiful country, beautiful people, beautiful culture. But what do you mean there was a fatal car crash where 2 people lost their lives? Okay. Involving Anthony Joshua. He didn't die. He's not one of the people that died. A very powerful man, very famous Nigerian boxer who just won like $100 million in a fight. And he had to be helped out of a car by regular pedestrians. Okay, cool. But then he was allegedly put in a police car because there's no ambulance. What the hell is going on? Nigerians always talking about how they got so much money, how they're not dirt poor, this, that, and the third. They always flexing they G-Wagons, they Lamborghinis. Why don't y'all have proper medical care? What is going on? I know it might be a little corrupt over there, but what the hell? You can't have medical attention for Anthony Joshua? He allegedly had to be flown back to the UK because y'all don't have proper medical care? What is going on? I'm sure y'all have a beautiful country, beautiful people, beautiful culture, but hell no, don't nobody need to be going over there.
And they paid him so much. You notice, say, when in there for that place, no single ambulance. I don't see any ambulance. I don't know if ambulance eventually reached there, but everybody did there. No ambulance. Now, human beings, street boys, the poor people of Nigeria. Because I dey tell you now, say, now poor people, they make this country work. Without the love in the heart of poor Nigerians, the poor people, the love of very few, the love of the poor. Now they make this country be like, say, one thing, do two things. If the poor people of Nigeria behave the same way the rich people of Nigeria behave, there will be no Nigeria in 48 hours. I repeat, if the poor people of Nigeria behave the way the rich people of Nigeria behave, there will be no Nigeria in 48 hours.
Sneeko also criticized Nigerians who were filming Anthony Joshua on video immediately after the fatal car crash instead of trying to help him.
And this is the problem. Look, he's one of the most rich and famous Nigerian athletes in the world. He goes and visits his home country. He gets in a fatal car crash where 2 of his friends are splayed out right next to him. And there's no police coming. There's no ambulance there. Not only, there's no help. He's struggling to get out of the car. Like, nobody's getting a gurney, or you call a stretcher. Nobody's help. They take out their phones and they start recording him. His countrymen, right? No, he's clearly he's in agony, and this is one of the lowest moments of his life. And they just start filming and recording him. And I know Speed just started his Africa tour right now. I like to stream today. I watched that stream. He's in Angola. But this is the reality of a lot of these third world countries. It's very similar to Haiti. I've been going to Haiti every year for Christmas my whole life, and it looks like Nigeria
a clip on Instagram. Of Anthony Joshua talking about life and death, adding thoughts and prayers with AJ and the families who have lost.
And with the death thing, I don't know, I just look at life and I'm just like, man, it's crazy. Like all of this stuff here, believe it or not, is a big distraction in my opinion, because in the grand scheme of things, like everything that I chase and everything that I want to own to make me feel relevant on this earth is not so important because I can't take it with me. That's what's guaranteed is death. All that's going to be important is kind of like just living to the best of our capability. Ain't it mad how fast life will go? We'll be old, and one day all that will matter is living to the best of our capability. Like I went to see my granddad the other day and he's very old now. And I was just thinking like all that matters to him probably is who's looking after him at his elderly age. Because he can't really look after himself anymore. But it's mad that at one stage in his life, like going to work was the most important thing ever. And now to that business, he's nothing because he's too old. And to him, that work relationship he had with his life is nothing. It's not. Whatever you're doing in your lives, we're all going to die one day. So don't get too caught up in the bullshit and the hype. Live your life while you're here because you never know what's going to, like around. You've got heart attacks, disease, wars, like life can just hit you like that. So try and enjoy every day. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't get too caught up in the bullshit.
John Fury also reacted to Anthony Joshua's tragic accident, saying,
Quick video this morning on the AJ crash. AJ, you've got a guardian angel, my friend. God has his arms wrapped around you then. Condolences to the deceased. So terrible, young people. It just goes to show you, it's a stark reminder, but people, you've got to start paying attention. When driving a vehicle, you've got to be on clock at all times in a sound mind. Please don't drink. When you think it's all right, it's not. Please don't drug. When you think you can, you can't. It's a stark reminder that life's most fragile when you're enjoying yourself at the most. You know, when you're in a good time and you're not thinking and everything's dandy, that's when tragedy can strike. That's when you're most vulnerable. So may God give the deceased a good bed in heaven, 2 young men. But people have to wake up and start learning and start putting out there to people that you can't drive a vehicle at speed, you can't drink and drive, you can't drug and drive. I'm not saying any of these boys have been doing that, not at all. I'm just putting it out there, you know, because it's the time of year, it's Christmas, it's New Year. Now you've got to be careful the most, you know, especially with people walking about, other people. You know, when you get in a car, you must think of them, be in a sound mind and competent and pay due care and attention to everything you do. Again, condolences to the deceased, his family. 2 young men should never have happened. AJ, God had his arms wrapped around you tight, you know, because looking at that crash, you're one lucky guy. And I'm pleased you're alive, son. I'm pleased you're alive. God bless you. People, take care and have an happy new year if you can.
Videos are spreading online showing how fighters are celebrating the new year. But one moment truly shocked fans. Michael Morales fully embraced Ecuador's New Year's Eve tradition by dressing as a widow and dancing in the streets. Some fans loved it, others were confused. The clip quickly went viral and sparked debate. Joaquin Buckley reacted, questioning whether it was really tradition or dancing in the street. How fighters are celebrating the new year. But one moment truly shocked fans. Michael Morales fully embraced Ecuador's New Year's Eve tradition by dressing as a widow and dancing in the streets. Some fans loved it, others were confused. The clip quickly went viral and sparked debate. Joaquin Buckley reacted, questioning whether it was really tradition or if Morales was just having too much fun.
Look, Michael Morales, I knew I was talking about, you know, the booty warriors and stuff like that, but you ain't have to straight up become one, dog. I mean, I understand like the booty warrior takeover is real, but you ain't got to become one to beat one. I hope you know that. But yeah, man, I don't know if this is just tradition now, right? A lot of these people say, you know, it's a tradition down in, you know, Ecuador, and this is what they do, right? I don't know what's the story behind it. I don't know the history behind it, but that's just, they say it's tradition. But it looks like you just having a little too much fun out there. You out there twerking, twirling, you know what I'm saying? Throwing your hip like, nah, man. But yet again, the new year is approaching. And I just want to be honest with y'all. A lot of people say a new year, new me. Nah, that's always been you. And you need to go ahead and continue to be who you are 2026. Stand firm in what you do. Stand firm in who you are. And be proud of it, right? Michael Morales, go ahead and wear them dresses at the press conference. Go ahead and wear them dresses at the weigh-in. You a streetwalker, dog. We knew this for a while now. But for real, you might become a bigger star because of it. So this is my message, not just to Michael Morales, but to anybody watching. In this new year, be who you are. Don't try to change. Accept that you are what you is, and everything will be okay. Life will be so much easier to accept if you just accept who you are inside. And that is my message here for 2026. See y'all in the new year.
Alex Pereira has officially confirmed his relationship with fellow UFC fighter Tracy Cortez after the two spent New Year's Eve together and went public online. The update quickly spread after championship rounds shared a photo from Pereira's Instagram showing the couple together. Fans immediately flooded social media with reactions. Some joked about Cortez's ex-boyfriend, Brian Ortega, though reports say Ortega has already moved on and married the mother of his children last year.
I feel like I'm Ow! Wait. Am I gonna eat shit? Oh.
생각난 소리. 너무 스피드. 어디 왁상구리 나오리요. 왁상구리. 생각난 소리. 어디? 와. 생각난 소리. 구독. 사카토로스.
Calmación.
생각난 소리. Hello.
¿Tienes vino?
Who is she? She's your friend? Opa! Gilot Sound, Arkansas, Happy New Year! Arkansas Gilot Sound. I'm gonna like this. Watch this. Let's go.
Let's go.
España, Madrid.
Vamos. اسنی رو گر خماو رو بن
Armand Sarukian showed off a Richard Mille Ferrari watch valued at over $1 million. He suggested it was a New Year gift without saying who it came from, simply posting a short caption online. Thank you, Santa.
Buying one when this came out, we didn't sell them. He only had so few of them. And he's like the ultimate watchmaker.
Ian Gary believes the only way to silence all criticism is by beating Islam Makhachev and winning the world title.
There's going to be no excuses from anyone on the planet. When I beat him, I have beaten the greatest pound-for-pound fighter on the planet right now. Your excuses are all finished. There's none. Don't look for them. Don't pick on them. I'll beat the number one and I'll beat the champion of the world, and then we can start the aggressive.
It's not small.
Anthony Joshua's driver has been charged with death by dangerous driving after a tragic crash that killed two of his friends and injured the boxer himself. The chauffeur had previously been identified as 47-year-old Kayode Adeniyi, a member of Joshua's Nigerian logistics team, when the former heavyweight champ visits the West African nation. The driver was discharged from hospital in Lagos late on New Year's Eve and has reportedly given a statement to police. Local media previously said he could still face prosecution for reckless driving. Heartbreaking video of the incident showed an injured AJ being helped from the wreckage of the vehicle. AJ and the locally hired driver were both sitting on the opposite side from the boxing star's close friends, Sina and Latif, at the time of the horror crash on Monday and narrowly escaped death. Sina and Latif died on impact when the Lexus SUV they were riding in collided with a truck on the side of the notorious Lagos-Ibadan highway. The driver of the truck that Joshua's SUV collided with reportedly vanished moments after the fatal crash. He remains at large as Nigerian police frantically try to locate him.
Amazing. When I'm Dr. Maynard Ortiz, what are you gonna say? Yeah, move him up to 47.
All right, breaking news. We got it. We got it.
Okay, breaking news. You guys have been asking me since this, incident happened. And I first covered this incident. You guys been asking who was the driver, to reveal the driver whenever I get the opportunity to see who the driver was of the SUV that crashed holding Anthony AJ Joshua, Latz, and Cena. And the driver of the SUV has now been revealed as Kayode Adeniyi. Now, he was not a professional driver, so I got that confused in my last video. I thought he was a professional driver because he was hired as the driver from Anthony AJ Joshua, but he is actually a long member of Anthony AJ Joshua's logistic team, and he was just hired as the driver for, I'm not sure, for the vacation or just for this trip, but he isn't a professional driver in Nigeria. Now, you see him here in this. I must say, the image really it doesn't help this situation. I mean, this doesn't even a real photo, and I know it is a real photo, but I mean, I guess the angle of this, I know Anthony AJ. What I'm saying is, I know Anthony AJ Joshua is a huge mammoth of a human being, but shit, right? Coyote's over here looking like a hand puppet. I mean, I know. He can't be that. If he's that small, then he can't even look over the steering wheel, right? Like he ain't got my man looking like Gary Coleman out here, looking like Frankie Lyman out here, man. So immediately when people saw this photo, people were like, wait, is this doctored? Or it's because of the angle, all right? And it just doesn't look right. I mean, Coyote just looked extremely small here. I'm sure it's the angle of the photo, and that happens all the time. Plus, you have to add that AJ is a huge guy, and maybe Coyote just isn't that big of a guy. Either way, the photo is a real photo. This is a real image of both of them together. Now, Nigerian police sources has indicated that Adeniyi will be facing some serious felony charges for reckless driving. And I know a lot of you guys are curious, such as I, on, what would be the punishment or the penalty for reckless driving in Nigeria. So I looked it up. And if you are a reckless driver in Nigeria and you cause a fatality on a federal road, that is up to 7 years in prison. And I looked up the Lagos Ibadan Expressway to see if it was a federal road. I know it's an expressway, so it should be. But just to confirm, yes, it is a federal road. But, I'm wondering, I mean, there were 2 fatalities. So do you double it? Is it 14 years or 7 years? Either way, Coyote is potentially looking at some serious time. Now, the manhunt is still out for the driver of the commercial truck parked on the side of the road. And I just was able to confirm that the commercial truck was parked illegally on the side of the road. So that's why he fled. Now, there is a third party in this, and that's the car who was in front of Coyote or AJ's SUV, causing him to try to maneuver out the way to overtake the vehicle. And that person also fled. And we don't know if that car or what have you, because we don't have the details yet, but if that car hit the brakes or if that car was spinning out of control, or we don't know exactly why Coyote, the driver of AJ's Lexus SUV, decided to make that maneuver, which struck a truck illegally parked on the side of the road. So just a lot of stuff, illegal things caused this accident and ultimately the lives of Latz and Cena. But, I want to speak on this, and I've been holding this back because it's really a rumor. I got an email from someone from Nigeria, and they sent me an email stating what they heard. And for me, it's just a rumor. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because of this comment. All right. And just talking about the likelihood or unlikelihood of Anthony AJ Joshua being 6'6" and sitting behind the driver in a back seat instead of being in a front seat. And the rumor is, and I got this the day that it happened, I just didn't speak on it, but that the reason why Anthony AJ Joshua was sitting in the back seat behind the driver is because he was just the last one to come out of the house. Latz and Cena occupied those seating positions because they came out the house first. And Anthony AJ Joshua just happened to be the last one, and he just sat in the remaining open seat. And I don't want to call that lucky or unlucky because it's just a tragedy. It's a disaster. And lives were lost. So, but I wanted to speak on that, just how they were seated because of what I was told. But as of right now, I'm going to consider it a rumor until Anthony AJ Joshua, finally says what he has to say officially about the situation. And the details from the driver is now being held close to the chest by the Nigerian police because they're just not ready to reveal the details yet because they're not completely done with their investigation. Now, let's talk about Keyshawn Davis. This video, Keyshawn Davis jumping rope, doing his best Muhammad Ali impression, talking shit.
Amazing. When I knock Jermaine Ortiz out, what are you gonna say? Yeah, move him up to 47.
They gonna be shot. They gonna be shot. You got me hyped, man. Oh my God.
The world's set for me to be the greatest of all time.
Right now they say 50-50 though, champ.
Hey, I love it. 50-50. I hope the odds be 50-50. He amazing.
Keyshawn Davis.
Yeah, say it, white man. Say it, white man. The amazing. Say it. The amazing Keyshawn Davis.
3, 2, time. I promise you, he gonna see what's so special.
It's gonna be too late for him. He says he's